everyone, welcome to the third episode of Friday Favourites. Now this one's going to be an exciting and a bit more modern game. This one is Metro Last Light. Now this is part of the Metro series. There was Metro 2033 and then they made Metro Last Light, and I believe recently they've just announced they're going to be releasing a new one this year in 2017, which is quite exciting for anyone who's played this game series. Now this game is a first-person shooter. It's kind of like a kind of cross between a shooter and a horror, eventually, but it's also very, very stealth-based. And I really have a great fondness of any stealth games. I really like games where you can take your time, plan things out, assess a scenario, and figure out the best way of dealing with it. And this game does that really, really well. Now, the way you can play this game is it basically lets you choose two different styles, depending on whether you want to have an arcade style, where you have lots of ammo and you want to just run around and run and gun, basically, or whether you want to have a more survival-oriented gameplay. Now I'm going to pick that one, and now you have the option of difficulty. The difficulty being like normal or hardcore, which is the damage that is done by things, and the kind of reality. I suppose normal, it requires a bit more to kill people, and you have a little bit more ammo, and it's a little bit easier. Hardcore, you can get shot once or twice and then you're basically dead, which is very real. They also have the Ranger mode. In the Ranger mode, it basically makes it more immersive, so rather than have a heads-up display, they're basically reduced to almost nothing. And if you go to Ranger Hardcore, it's much, much harder, and it basically has all head-up display disabled. And that sounds ridiculous because, like, it's a game, you need to know how much ammo you've got. And you can, there are ways of figuring out how much ammo you have, which is pressing a button which shows you the side of the magazine and you can see how many bullets you've got left. You've got no idea how much you've got in your bag, but it's very immersive and real. And that's what I kind of like about this. So I'm going to play on Ranger because I'm not quite as crazy enough to do Ranger Hardcore. So this is set after the first game. In the first game, you are fighting in a post-apocalyptic Russia, and there are lots of historical kind of political movements, like Nazis and communism parties, and there's also like freedom fighters. And they've all kind of made a comeback, and there's various different people in gangs or cities underground. And basically there's been a nuclear war, and there's a need for survival, and there's lots of these kind of factions, I suppose, fighting against each other. And you're trying to figure out a bigger problem than those, and that problem is basically these like weird mutants. And the mutants you meet very, very quickly in the first game. And it's kind of like an interesting change, because the mutants are very different to fight against than fighting against the people. People, you can know what they're saying and you can tactically kind of
Well, I used to live nearby.
do things carefully.
Before the war, I mean, up there. I was on the train when it happened. I tried calling my family, but couldn't get through. What the? What happened? Shit! 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 What's going on here?
So yeah, interesting beginning to the game. It basically shows the power of the Dark Ones, which are these like weird mutant type things. Oh hey.
Hear what happened to Welcome to the armory.
So at the beginning of the game, you get to choose what you're going to use as your first
For
gun.
now, let's get you equipped. So, first things first. You're going to need a gas mask. Can't make a step on the surface without a gas mask. It's been 20 years and the radiation's still strong enough in some places to boil water. There are hot spots down here in the metro, too. Don't forget filters for the mask. Sure, it looks cool enough even without these, but they definitely make it better for your health.
So these are one of the big valuable resources you need to be gathering up.
What can I say? Anything you need for survival in a stylish orange case.
The filters are what you use to basically keep yourself alive above the surface.
For this month.
So there's
Remember,
basically
your
a
pay is in military
constant
grade rounds. Sure, you can use
timer
them as
on
usual
your life,
rounds,
and you've got to
have
be
extra
trying to be
guns,
careful with it.
But saving them to buy guns, attachments, regular ammo and equipment from merchants anywhere in the metro seems like a smarter move.
So these are the premium ammunition. They're like shiny and gold. They're what basically are used as currency.
Let's get you some
So if you
guns.
save that up, you can
Take
buy
the ones
better
you want and
guns.
try them out on my range.
So the gun choice is you can get like a single rifle, AK, RPK, which is a bit longer range, but different. AK SU, which is like a shorter one, higher rate of fire, but doesn't have the accuracy. Or this, which is one of the many bodge job guns for them. They're basically like custom made.
Good hunting. Come visit us soon.
And I think we get a choice of two. We also get a couple of these other weird bodge job guns. So there's this, which is like a handmade machine gun thing. This, which is the Shambler, it's a very popular shotgun, used quite widely in the game because it's really good against the mutants. Or there's a revolver, which is really quite good. I'm going to pick this one, and I'm going to pick this one. So you can pick whatever guns you want for your style, which is nice. And eventually we'll get out and we'll get shooting stuff. Okay, so I've skipped a bit of the story. We're just running along. I'm not going to explain what exactly I'm doing because it might be a bit of a story spoiler, and I'll try and block out any bits that do kind of spoil the story anything more than necessary. Now you're going to notice me like scavenging a lot of dead bodies, and that's because there's a lot of dead bodies that will have like a couple of bullets, and that is
Alright, the map shows a collector entry point ahead.
something that's going to be really, really useful because, for example, there's 5 bullets that were just down there.
Move, I'm following. Go right, there's a dead end on the left.
So they say there's a dead end on the left, but I bet there's going to be something hidden over here. Yep, there's 5 bullets. So it's a bit like Skyrim and any other game where you've got to be scavenging for stuff. So you should be able to see now quite easily. If I swap to the premium ammunition, it looks all nice and perfect. And if I swap to the normal one, and it's basically one is incandescent, so it like sets things on fire and does lots of damage. But there's no way I would ever want to use it deliberately.
Surface.
Journal. So this shows me all my different ammunitions for everything. So yeah, I'm on maximum on that. So this little kind of handbook thing. Yeah, the little arrow, the little glow in the dark arrow that moves around bottom right, is what tells you where to go.
Afraid of moss in your hair? Enough. Put the mask on.
On a mask. But there's so many like interesting resources that you don't think about in most games. So I have a torch, and my torch will run out of battery, and you can bring up this little charging device, and then you can charge your torch back up. So It's kind of really interesting.
Give me a hand here.
Cool. So again, always keep wandering, keep looking.
go to the
There's
main
a
entrance.
point where you probably
There's
end
a
up
good
looking too
shooting
much
position
because
there.
I
They
always
can cover a lot of
wander down
territory.
every corridor and
You're
explore like
supposed to
crazy.
be immune
I
there.
thought.
What? Influence? Well, I don't have your gift. So hop along, rabbit.
I can see you. Something's still burning where the nest was. That's some fine wasteland. You guys sure did a good job here. It's strange. What could still be burning after all this time? Well, it doesn't matter. Move towards it. I'll cover you. I see some kind of movement. Get ready. On the right. Those aren't dark ones. They're watchmen. I'm working on them. That howl was bad luck. Get ready for more. Another 3. Let's do it. Look, there's more in the reef. Down. One more. This one's down. Watch out. Looks like we pretty much cleaned the place. How are you? Hey, you alright? Hey,
Cool.
Artyom.
That
He's
was
doing a decent
interesting.
job. Maybe you're more than a...
Still warm. Guten Morgen.
So I believe we've now just been picked up by the Reich, who are the new Nazi cult.
Führer. These prisoners were captured at the botanical gardens.
So this is where it's going to get a bit better because now we're going to be against people. And people are a lot more interesting because you can kill them silently, you can stealth them, you
A
can do
mutant the size of a child was caught near him. It was delivered to Reich as well.
I'll deal with it later. This one.
Suspected mutation.
No, I'm not. Ah, congratulations. You're a mutant. No, please. To the garbage chute. A simple question. What was your mission in the gardens?
Go to hell yourself, Nazi. Phew.
I'm gonna count to 3. 1,
Glory to the Red Line!
2,
Long live Comrade Moskvin!
3.
So that was one of the Russians, I believe.
I'll talk, but away from the other side. They'll kill me if they hear. Okay?
Take this one to the 2nd unit. Usually, Reich does not interfere with the Order's business. But here, we have you, the Reds, and the Freak, all caught in the same net. I do not like it. So talk, or take a bullet to the brain.
Get the officer! Hey, you!
Phantasmo.
Here. You keep the knife. Keep it. So, you're with the Spartan Order? I'm from the Red Line. Our superiors are not on the best of terms, huh? But I say fuck that. No, fuck that. The Grunts
Where's that guy
stick
gone?
together, huh? Давай. I see. Ух ты смотри. Remotely controlled lock. One thing's for sure. Our only chance of getting out of this alive, work together. What did they say about the garbage chute? Okay, let's get our asses out of this place. Then we'll go our separate ways. Huh? See the pipes? This is their contingency plan.
So we're a bit minimal on what we have now, because all that ammo we had at the beginning we've all lost. But I believe we'll probably still have... Yeah, we've lost all our ammunition,
Follow me.
except the premium one, which is on the right, with a little
Where the hell are you, huh?
gold bar.
We'll go as soon as the elevator leaves. Let's move. Sweet mother of God, I heard... Hey! Hey! Give me a lift, will you? Get up here. Duck. Now listen.
So now it's ultra stealth, because we've got to try and sneak through the prison.
Move! Okay, you take the right one, I the left one. I will distract mine, then you take yours down. Understand? Get to it. Don't start too soon, huh? Let's do it!
How's this? You'll beat him to death with a shovel. It's efficient and
So you might be able to hear as I approach this man.
Sounds like something fell.
There's a little like knife noise.
As you say, sir. Just you look at that.
You're lucky. I was afraid you'd scream.
Hey, do you hear me? Look, there's a lever. It releases the ladder. If you pull it, the ladder comes down.
Okay,
Get
so
as
they
many
give
of them as you can. We're done anyway.
Unscrew the light bulb.
So this is another big thing throughout the whole thing, is that you will sneak around and use a lot of... Oh,
You go to that side. Maybe there you will be able to
you
find
sneak around and use light bulbs quite a lot to
Hey,
to clear the path.
break a
As
leg.
if we'd waste any on you. You're dead meat anyway.
What?
Hey, man!
Hey?
So the knives are a secondary weapon that's really useful for long distance takedowns.
I thought we had it bad. They'll guess us if they hear you.
Quite make anything out.
You're good. But be careful. If they notice you, we'll all be gassed.
Alright, so I'm guessing this guy's gonna get taken out.
Breathe. Can't breathe. I need space. Let us out! Let us out! There's a control panel up there. You can open all the cells. I can't stay here anymore. Please! I wanna live! I want to live!
So the guy can eventually through here.
Get out of the inner block, and the fun is just starting. Brilliant. Here, catch this.
Pistol! Silence
Nice
pistol.
watch. This little blue indicator, it lights up when you're visible, right? Alright, there's bound to be more guards further ahead, but they won't be able to use gas here. We can really let ourselves go. Ah, I wish I had a grenade. I'll break through even without it. Let's move here. You take the lower route, I'll take the top and cover you.
Cool. So, I believe this is going to be a bit of a stealthy mission. And what I'm going to have to try and do is not use any ammo. Just go down there, go up there.
What? Some kind of noise. Who is it?
Okay. That was awful. Hey! I rescued everyone.
Well, there's no helping it. Поехали, we hoof it from here. Follow me. Okay, don't remember seeing this tunnel on any map.
As I said, it's always worth running around because that was 15 premium ammo. Okay, so they're opening that door. So I'm going to go out. Just run up onto the roof bit. Alright, so let's see where they're going to go.
Those bastards are lurking in the shadows.
Wait, turn around, don't turn around, don't turn around. Done. So I somehow alerted them to where I am.
I've got him pinned!
One guy down. That was one bullet. So. Oh. There. Got a scoped pistol. So another guy down. It's just a very interesting game. So if you play this in a style that's just like any other game, you run out of ammo, you'll just end up dying. And you've got to try and play it in a way that means you aren't wasting anything. There we go down. Took a few more bullets that time. But... oh, look, there he is.
What?
I surrender, you hear? I surrender! Let the bigwigs duke it out! I had enough!
Okay. Oh! Oh, okay. Oh, right, I only knocked him out. Didn't actually kill him.
Artyom! Shit! I knew you wouldn't abandon me. I knew it. You're a true comrade. I'm in your debt for life. Now get me out of here and I'll lead you home in no time. Fuck! Fuck, they're coming for me! Gonna take me to the noose! Good luck, my friend! You're my only hope now!
No.
Come on, get your ass out here, you
commie rat.
Okay, so there's ways of doing things in this that it hasn't made obvious yet, but there are places where there's little circuit breakers. If you cut out the circuit breakers, you can basically cut all the lights. And people are like, oh no, the lights have gone out, and they go and set the lights back on, so you can then, whilst before they get turned back on, you can move position and suddenly start taking everyone out in pitch black darkness. Which is obviously a bit of an advantage. There you go.
Huh? In the meantime, you could go to the bridge, check out what's smoking there.
Hey, but I didn't do anything. Okay, so lights are all down.
Just you wait.
So although they kind of know where I am, they don't actually know where I am.
Get you for this! These are mounting! Hold your ground. We got to make him pay!
Make sure I'm using the correct ammo.
I'm gonna get you for this! No, Tommy, you done for!
All the ammunition. So now I've got one with a little laser sight, which I suppose is useful. Make sure I've got all my ammo. Basically, if you can see a gun with a magazine in it, they're ones that you haven't taken the ammunition from. So we can just follow where this tells us to go, which is over here.
Who's there? Don't shoot, man. Take anything. But please, don't kill me. Don't kill me, please. Picking on one of their own. Bastards. God, do I hate this life. People are worse than beasts.
So it's very interesting how people act. So we've now got night vision scope and a silenced gun. So now the real kind of hunting can begin, which is the really good bits. It seems a little bit more powerful. Just stealth for this guy. That's weird. I think I attacked him before it went into the mode where you can actually stealth kill anyone. You can play it how you want. You can play it in ways where you can try and get everything. There are literally ways of doing it without killing anyone. There's also ways of doing it where you do kill everyone. So it's just up to you, because you can play it in a variety of styles. That's ammo. It's useful. There's this gun here, which is basically like an air rifle for BB guns, or for BBs. And if I remember correctly, you have to pump it up by clicking R, and then you can you can pump it up to overpower it. And then you can, from a distance, go boom. That was quick. You only shot one bullet. So I think if you shoot the helmet, it doesn't actually do a proper headshot. I think I happen to be full on ammunition. Until now. Right near the radio around this. So I noticed then that a few of those were heavies, which are the ones with loads and loads of armour, and it's very, very difficult to headshot them. They're all up there. Thanks. I think that's already dead. Okay, so that's most of those down. Not all of those down, I suppose. Yeah, sounds fine.
I surrender! Surrender!
Oh,
I'll put my weapon down and come out now. Don't shoot!
you don't need to come out, I can kind of see you. Oh! So that button turns all the lights off. That would have been very useful, because then I could have just picked them all up. Oops. Well, he's not dead, but he's injured. Cool. So, in summary, well, to finish, I think, on this mission, it's really, really clever, and this is a way of kind of having a shooter game that feels very kind of real. It's not like you can mess around very easily. If you make a mistake, it's very, very difficult suddenly, because suddenly you've got backup and you've got the enemies having backup, and it can just very, very easily complicate your situation. So you've got to play in a way that basically prevents that, and it makes it so you can't just play it casually and just run and gun, unless you play it on a different mode. But it's very much like you have to play it in a way that allows you to not be seen, and you've got to minimize your kind of impact. Oh. I think I ran over a bomb. You've got to minimise your impact on kind of the world. And there are ways of playing it without actually like triggering. No, I see it now. Cut that. There are ways of playing it without killing people. A bit like if you played Dishonored. That's a similar one where you can run around and either kill people or you can not kill people. And this game is very similar in that you can basically play how you want. So you can decide on whether you run around and just go crazy and kill everyone, or whether you go around and knock people out, which is another option. And yeah, you can kind of decide on what you want to do. So you can kind of play it with a million different styles, but it works, I think, best if you play it with a kind of stealth style. And I think that's why I love it, because I fall in love with a lot of different stealth games, because I love being able to analyse a situation and not have to just run in and just be really quick fire and shoot everyone quicker. That kind of doesn't interest me. It's more about looking at what people are doing and where people are walking and analysing where their paths are and figuring out the best way of dealing with the situation. And that's why this game's great, because you can really do that a lot, because there's a lot of clever kind of mechanics worked in, and the maps are very, although it's a linear story and you can't kind of decide on going a different route, you can look at each room or area like I've just done, and you can figure out your way of dealing with that. So you can sometimes go upwards, and then you can scan the area from above without anyone knowing you're there, get past it if you don't want to have to kill anyone, but it often makes sense to do that, because then you can gather resources and get your kind of supplies built up. It's being able to play it and figure out your own way of doing it is what I love about this. And it's just a really great kind of system. So yeah, that's today's Friday Favourites. I'm going to have trouble editing this down to half an hour, because I've been playing it for about 2 hours. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. If you've got any comments, as always, let me know in the comments below. And any suggestions of games that you really liked, if you've got favourite games or you've also liked these games, let me know, because it's interesting finding out what people like. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next Friday for another Friday Favourites. Goodbye.